Hello Internet and welcome to Who Cares, where we're going to discuss and debate the Doctor on her adventures through space and time.
So get ready for this week's episode of Sex and the City, starring Mr. Big. And boy, are Miranda and Carrie gonna have a lot to talk about. And also the other one, other one? There was Sarah Jessica Parker.
Horse.
The one that didn't win in New York. And then the oogly-eyed one. Oh, and then the older MILF.
Was one of them in Hocus Pocus?
Maybe.
Everyone, welcome to the special, I guess.
Is it spooky? It wasn't a scary episode. It was just kind of what came out near this holiday.
I think they intentionally made the spider one the Halloween one, though, even though I don't think it necessarily works as a horror episode. There were a couple scenes where I was kind of skeeved out, but that's because I'm not a big fan of spiders, so...
Yeah, it was fine, and, maybe it's because, racists don't like the brown cast members. That's pretty spooky if you're racist.
Yeah, I guess so. So
if you're like, hey, Mexicans, we're gonna shoot tanks at you if you come across their border. Actually, I think they're not from Mexico. But anyway, this is called Arachnids in the UK.
I think it's a play on the song Anarchy in the UK.
It's
supposed to be
probably that, but I'm not from there. But I do like Vegemite. Wait, that's the Australian one. I do like Marmite. These are not jokes. I really do like that.
So, this episode is, I guess I would argue, the first sort of, we're in the middle of the season and not attached to the other ones. It certainly starts out with the Doctor dropping off the companions at the apartment, and she gets, much like we thought she would last week, she gets sort of swept up into an adventure. This is the first
I mean, if you made that call in any Doctor Who episode, you'd be correct.
Sure. This is just typical throwaway monster of the week, and as far as that goes... Yeah. It was okay. I think it had some major problems, though, especially near the end.
Do you know what, though? It was kind of nice that it wasn't an alien.
Yeah, that was fine.
I like that. There's some cool parts to it, like, because we'll start out with the good, because I think there's, I don't know about more bad, just more we want to talk about that is the bad.
Yeah. Because the good stuff...
the good is like...
It's standard Doctor Who good. It was an episode. Yeah. It's entertaining. There's fun Doctor Who quips, though... Chris Chibnall in all episodes this season has made the same joke. And I like this joke generally, but he's overusing it. Oh, did I ever mention to you that I met insert historical figure and did something around that time? Every single episode the Doctor has name dropped. Like, I knew Amelia Earhart and...
Oh, I see, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's a funny joke to make a couple times a season, maybe, but...
I've definitely noticed a change in tone as far as the information... Mm-hmm. We got information on spiders in this one.
Yeah.
And I like this. I like this sort of take. It's kind of back to the roots. It's less
semi-educational.
Right. I mean, it's only usually one scene, but it's at least it's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of dig that, so I'm fine with it. I like that to stick around. I don't even know if it's a joke. It's more like just, I don't know, kind of exposition.
Which joke?
They're played as jokes, typically, the Amelia Earhart thing.
Oh, yeah.
But not for a laugh? Does that make sense? Often in TV shows, there's jokes that are there for to make another character be like, what? But it's not for anyone in the audience to go, ha ha ha.
It just seems like we need the Doctor to say a line here, let's do this thing that we do, and it becomes...
Sure.
You can overuse a trope, and so far, that trope has been overused.
Sure. As far as the good stuff I like, all of it had to do with the characters, specifically...
The mom?
The mom. No, she wasn't my favorite part of this episode. My favorite part of this episode, in descending order, so starting at number 1 is Graham.
Okay.
Graham spending time in the house and having to deal with his dead wife, and kind of... I like how they did the grieving thing in this, because they're not hamming it up. You don't get any. I don't think Grams cried.
He came close at the funeral, but he didn't actually shed a tear.
He may have cried in the episode she actually died,
sure.
like right when it happened, but I don't remember. But I kind of like this. I really like this sort of. He's dealing with it, and her lines the first time you see basically him thinking about her, and she's kind of out of focus, and that's just his inner monologue. Is she's just saying like, oh, the trash goes out this day. This is the bills that need to be paid. This is that's the sort of mundane shit that does happen when someone that you're married to dies.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff that sucks more than you think it sucks. Not that I have firsthand experience, but I think we all know somebody that's lost somebody important to them, specifically cohabitating. And I don't know. It was just that mundane stuff. And again, the actor, I forget his name every time. You remembered it last time, but...
Bradley Walsh.
That's correct. He's just doing a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Very happy with him. So that whole thing, even... he had some scenes with Ryan again. Ryan gets a letter from his dad, and he kind of hands him the letter, and he's like, "Hey, you should open it." I don't know. It was nice, and I think they're doing a really good job of that character. I really hope he doesn't die. Next on the list is probably Yaz, and then I think part B of that is her family. But I didn't think her mom was like that great.
No, I was just talking about when I said her mom. I mean sort of her family in general, because the previous episodes has been so Graham and Ryan heavy. We're finally getting an
was Yaz heavy
that got focused on Yaz and her family and their relationships, and you're able to glean a little bit more about her and her personality based on the people around her.
I like her a lot more now than I did at the beginning, and I didn't not like her. I just there wasn't a lot there for me as a fan to be able to like latch onto. But yeah, no, I really like that.
I like that she disagrees with her sister. They have pretty typical sister stuff going on. I like that the dad's sort of annoyed by the rubbish being left out places, so he started collecting it.
Yeah, he kind of had a just like a sprinkle of wilf on him, where he's kind of like, well, I'll pick up the rubbish. I'll make dinner for your friends. Like, I don't know. He seems like a nice enough person. And I like that she was willing to go help her mom, but she was annoyed that she had to do it. And then she hugged her when she got there, showing that kind of like, I don't know. It's a more complex relationship than just, it's my mom in a show. Yeah. It seems pretty natural.
Sure.
So I think all the character stuff consistently,
that's what's working about this series.
Is really good.
I agree.
Like better than any other.
Chibnall's really good with the interpersonal drama.
So good, and I don't know. It makes them feel like they live in the world. Like Clara felt like an unattainable person that's never existed.
I don't even know what she was, because every season she had almost a different personality.
Especially the last one, because she came out of the writer's room alive on accident. But yeah, I like that. And then if Ryan is still going well. I think it's going well, and
I think Ryan and Graham
he's
both
very
work in this episode,
young. He's kind of
the backseat.
Ryan is kind of how Rose should have been acting.
Like interested in all the, and
but also
scared.
Crazy young. Like, he's like, what, 19? She was 19 when she started?
I think Rose was supposed to be like 17
I thought
when
it was,
she started.
Well, no, they say her age. She's definitely 18 at least.
I think part of that has to do with, am I wrong on this? Was Billie Piper older than Ryan is now, though? In real life?
I gotta imagine. I mean, she's definitely older than him now.
I mean, obviously, but I mean, contemporarily speaking, like, if they're both playing 19-year-olds, was she older when she was playing a 19-year-old?
I think so. I think she was in her mid-20s.
Okay.
I mean, it's not like Billie Piper has aged poorly, but she's clearly older.
Sure.
And I think she was always older. But, they kind of made her wear, like, I'm wearing, young people clothes. But he acts like a young person. Yep. Like, and the part I thought I was going to start to cringe, and maybe you did still, was when he played the music.
Oh.
Because of the vibration. And I thought, everybody in here hates that, and they kind of did. And Ryan was the only one into it.
See, I didn't hate that.
I'm surprised you didn't hate that. That's typically something you would hate. But
let me explain why.
I figured how they pulled it off.
contextually it's fine because it was one of the companions picking music they like, and
I totally
even if
agree.
I don't like it, it's fine. It still informs the character.
Yeah.
In the last episode, for instance, the Rosa Parks episode, I didn't like the music selection there, specifically because it didn't fit the scene. Here, it fit the scene because it's sort of a comedy. Yeah. Oh, everyone's rolling their eyes at the music. Like, if anything, that scene will be funnier with time as the song is less contemporary.
I like
similar to how in that Eccleston episode they play Toxic by Britney Spears.
Yeah, it gets
That's
better.
funnier. That joke gets funnier because they call it classical music there. The joke still works. The joke here will still work 10, 20, 30 years from now.
Yeah.
Fine.
I like that Graham was like, I can't believe they're running towards it.
Yeah. That's a little, in fairness, the young kids with their music. That's a lazy joke, but I like Graham.
But that's the kind of joke Graham would make.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's not, I don't think it was like we have to find the old to make the young feel bad. It was literally like he just wouldn't get it. Yeah. And I like that. So I also like the doctor. She did well again.
I still feel like I don't know if they're just doing a really slow burn with her. Well,
even in this, she mentions she doesn't know who she is yet.
I know. It's really weird because normally by episode 2, the doctor, whoever they happen to be, kind of, you have a sense of who they are as the doctor. She's doing really well. I like what she's doing. It reminds me a lot of Tenet. But
the pacing is different.
I feel like she's still missing an ingredient. I don't know what it is, but something that by the end of her tenure will say she was the blank doctor, and not she was the woman doctor, but she was the doctor that had this personality trait. And I think we're still waiting for that aha moment of what exactly her centerpiece is. Because I'd argue Nines is probably grief of the time.
I was gonna say sad. That was the first thing that came to mind.
Tenet is probably angry and a little bit of newfound possibility with Rose. I could maybe keep moving forward despite what's happened and put the Time War behind me. And that's why
Smith
I think
was running away from responsibility.
Yep, that's his thing for sure. Being intentionally acting young despite being this really old, angry guy.
And again, we've mentioned it before, but he's easily the best intense moment doctor.
Yeah, Capaldi was probably grumpier. He was over the Time War by the time it got to him, so he was kind of just
he was tired of loss.
Yeah, I think he was just tired. Tired is a good way to put it. Yeah. And he was spending so much of his time reflecting on, am I a good person?
I think what this is really, and it's reflected obviously in the fact that there's a new showrunner, but I think this is who am I after that?
Sure.
So it kind of makes sense that it's taking a while. It's just atypical for us.
Sure.
So it might feel a little weird, but I think that might be her arc this season.
That'd be good. That'd be interesting. It's an interesting way to do it that they haven't done before. And again, so far the interpersonal, character-driven stuff has been done really well, so I trust them to do that. Now, that being said, the things I didn't particularly like about this episode, general plot resolution or lack thereof, kind of. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I mean, they said that basically they're going to let them, die in there.
Yeah, the Doctor's humane solution, and maybe this is where the Doctor's going, maybe this Doctor's thing, and I've talked about this in several episodes, the sort of hypocrisy. Maybe this Doctor is very positive, but underneath the surface is a little bit hypocritical.
Yeah.
Decides that the humane thing to do, instead of shooting them and killing them instantly, the spiders, or stomping on them, whatever. Graham was holding one in, those big containers you have in kitchens if you've never worked in a kitchen. Clearly, they're not strong enough at that point to kill you, or if they are, it's very difficult. You'd probably step on them and kill them. Instead, the Doctor decides, we're going to put them in not Donald Trump's safe room and lock him in there to starve to death.
Yeah.
Which is a million times less humane than just ending their lives.
That's what I think. I guess I don't really know how spiders feel things, but I imagine starvation is worse than death instantly.
You'd think so.
I definitely. But
also the lab, the Doctor never shut down the lab that was making these super spiders, because again, they weren't aliens. They were just spiders that were being given certain drugs. Also, not Donald Trump just kind of got away. Maybe he'll come back in the future. That'd be interesting if he did come back.
We make a joke about that. I think he did fine.
Sure, I like that actor a lot, actually.
Yeah, he
I kind of wish he was I wish it was less overtly, and I know you disagree with me on this, it felt like the writers were bumping... Half the writers in the writers' room were like, yeah, he'll be like a Trump, like, type.
I didn't get that because he immediately bucked against the Trump, like, name, and I know that would obviously play into it a little bit, but he didn't really... He acted more like... American man.
Yeah, I get that.
Because Trump isn't what... Like, I don't think Trump would pick up a gun and be proactive.
No, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, he had a hotel and the logo was a big R, which is the second letter in the name.
Sure.
It's so many allusions to Trump. It felt like half the writer's room was really wanting to do this Trump satire, and the other half were like, that is so passé, we don't want to do it. And that's why you got this sort of watered down, not quite that, but it's kind of looks like it's maybe trying to be that.
Sure. I don't know. I only got that at the beginning, and then it sort of stopped.
I don't know. I just feel like if they had no intentions of any comparisons to Trump, he just
they definitely didn't have no intentions.
If they just would have made him a hotel magnate and not mentioned like my chances in 2020 and have him be a politician. You know what I mean?
Right, but he did it to actively not. He's running against Trump. They bring it up. I don't know.
He doesn't act like a Democrat at all.
Well, I don't think he's a Democrat.
He's gonna. This could be
hotel magnate Democrat. No.
This could be British writers not understanding how the electoral process in the United States
that
works.
Might be it.
Like, it's not like a parliamentary thing where a different leader gets chosen by the party every year. They'd have to primary Trump, and that's not going to happen unless some very serious shit comes out.
Nobody in the Republican Party would do that. Anyway, like they just don't do that with incumbents.
Generally not. I think it's happened once, so that was because, like, some really fucky shit was going on. I don't remember what it was. Anyway.
Yeah. So, trying to think of what... I mean, this episode was fine.
I want to talk about the spiders a little bit.
Sure, let's talk about the spiders.
I actually found the spiders when there were, like, big hordes of them pretty creepy. The animation was pretty good. The effects were much better than they would have been in previous seasons.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
They looked fine.
The way they killed people was kind of silly, but it's Doctor Who, so I accept this.
The way they killed people?
They would wrap them up in webs and, like, suffocate them, basically.
Have you never seen that?
No, I know. I know that's what they... I know typically what they do is they'll, like, wrap it up and then they'll suck blood out of stuff. I just think it looks a little silly with the giant Halloween cobwebs. Also, they kept calling them cobwebs.
Is that a thing in the UK, probably?
In the UK, do you call all spider webs cobwebs?
They may.
Because cobwebs to us only means
like
dusty, unused webs.
Yeah.
So, anyway. I think that's...
Yeah, no, I think the deaths were fine.
Yeah.
There was another lesbian mention that wasn't just burned into my retinas.
No.
By Moffat, so that was good. Yeah, this was a pretty plain episode. I could skip this, but there's so many good character moments, and I really like the end where you get about 5 minutes of them being like, "No, we want to come with you."
I do want,
and that was my favorite part of the episode. She's like, "I can't promise you're safe." Like it's so weird because usually it's the Doctor like basically tricking people or like putting a little candy.
I loved that the companions chose to go on their own in this. Like, not only chose, but like had to convince the Doctor they understood the responsibility and risks involved.
That's why I think this Doctor is specifically like I don't know. Usually it's been headcanon as to why the Doctors act this way, and maybe like Moffat and them were conscious of it. I gotta assume they were, because I would prefer they were. But this seems more conscious. This seems like she loves being around people, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, she even went to tea. This is not something that another Doctor usually would do.
Correct.
But like she almost tried to. She was talking them out of doing the thing that she knows could possibly lead to their death.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was interesting, and I really liked that scene. And I really liked I don't know, Graham again in that one was, like I'm not done grieving. Ryan's just kind of along for the ride.
I get it. He doesn't want to work in that warehouse anymore. He's also dealing with the grief. So
he doesn't not have a reason. I just think he's clearly like a kid.
Yeah. Yes, I find a little more interesting. I think she just wants, like, you saw in the first episode,
I think she wants some
adventure, something interesting.
There seems to be a level of she's important when she's there.
Sure.
You know? And I don't know if they're going to tap into that, but that's what I'm getting. Like, immediately when she walked into the house, she was, like, the least important person.
Sure, I get what you're saying.
So, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was really interesting. Oh! The way they showed the time vortex at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, I love it. It looks
fucking
great.
awesome.
It reminds me so much of Bill and Ted when they go
through a bunch of different wormholes.
When they go through out of one hole and then there's a chamber and it's like a ton of them and it's like, and it still looks like the new intro, which looks like a colorized version of the original 1960s intro.
That's so great.
I love it. We also got some more shots of the interior of the TARDIS, especially during that last scene there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it all looks great. I think it looks a lot better.
The things on the walls are lighting up. Was that a thing that happened last time?
A little bit, but you didn't see it as much.
Okay, because it looks good.
Yeah.
It looks real good.
I really like it. I like it better than I got from my first impressions the first time I saw it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's definitely growing on me. I think I'm going to really enjoy this by the time it's over.
Yeah. No more mentions of the Stenza so far, so I'm curious if that is still going to be the through line or
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think her dealing with real genocide and being kind of hypocritical so far is an interesting way to do it, especially if the hypocrisy comes up.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, I guess. So, next episode, I don't remember the name. It is a Base Under Siege episode.
I recognize that actor.
They go to, like, a hospital, and they're doing things. The Next Time trailers this season have been so vague, and I really like it, but I do kind of wish they had a little bit of a hook. A little bit of something.
Like, I got nothing.
I got nothing. It just looks like we're in a hospital, and then a thing happens. Like, okay, but what thing? At least the old Next Times used to be too much. They used to give away big plot hooks.
Too much.
But at least give me, like... Let's say this was, I don't know, last season, like, it's a planet with emoji people, or, you know, dinosaurs on a spaceship. Like, give me the premise.
Sure.
Just in a hospital. By the way, the ratings are holding very steady for this season, apparently, for BBC.
That's interesting.
Much more so than during the Capaldi era, so...
That's also interesting, because I think like... Capaldi seemed like more of a... especially once it really got going, like past the garden episode.
I get it.
Past the garden episode, I think he's one of the stronger runs, but
I think so too.
And right before, I think cut out his first episode because it's not great.
No,
it's a little slow, and then everything that happens before, which I think is 3 episodes before the moon hatches, and then basically after the garden, and I think it's a pretty good run. He just has some stinkers in there. This does not have stinkers, but we still haven't gotten our like holy shit. No. That was a really great episode.
Still waiting.
But I do think the first episode's pretty good.
We get 1 or 2 really great episodes a season.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're coming. We'll see. The first episode is pretty strong. I'm hoping... we haven't had a really great finale in quite a while. Mm-mm. So maybe Chibnall can really tie this together in the end. Who knows?
God, what's the last great finale? It's definitely Smith's run. Yeah, but in Smith's run, Moffat's always like, "Ha-ha, I'm clever!" Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Next week we'll be back to talk about whatever happens in the next one. I have no idea. So until next time, I'm Hugo.
The one where Matt Smith goes back in time to the Byzantium and goes, "No, you have to remember." That was the good one.
Byzantium.
The Byzantium with there was the first part of the 2-parter.
The
second part of the 2-parter with the...
That was good because that was actually
it was actually clever.
It was a clever writing thing where Moffat was like, something blue, something old, something...
Yeah, that one was actually really good.
All right.
Okay.
Episode's actually over now.
Yeah.
Leave.
I'm Jake.